Hey guys, in this video we are going to take a look at the school function from C language. This function is sprintf. So this is very special function and I discovered it very recently, so I thought to make a video about it, and here it is. So what does it do? A formatted string can be created with this sprintf function. So it is very useful when we code because we need to extract data from other data types and convert it into the strings, and we can't do it generally very easily. So this is quite useful in that cases. So as it said, this is useful for building the string from other data types. Uh, what I mean from other data types is you can say other integers, doubles, or any other data type, even the characters. You can use other strings to merge into the big string and create one big string and use that big string later for making the statements or output the real deal. So it can be useful in very different scenario, as I said. So we will be going to look at it in next few minutes in our text editor. But first we are going to take a look at its declaration. So its declaration start from int as a return type. So we will discuss it later, but let's just move on. So next is the name of function, which is sprintf. So as the argument, there are three different sections in the argument. First is char asterisk str, then there is comma, that means first section closed. Then there is a const string asterisk format, and there's then dot dot dot. uh, so we will discuss it now briefly, each section, each of three. So first str. This is pointer to an array of character element where the result C string is stored. So this is very easy because we are merging different variables into a buffer. So when we merge different elements into a predefined a big buffer, then we need some variable or some big element or chunk to store that big data. So that will be this str. So str will be the pointer pointing to the location where we store the big data, that big sentence or statement we will we will create. Then next is format. Though format looks quite fuzzy or quite annoying in this declaration format, but it is very easy. This is the string that contains the text to be written in the buffer, only the plain text, or it may also contain embedded format tags. They are gonna be replaced by its value. For example, %s or %d. %s is quite useful when we want to merge a string into this big string, or %c is also a choice which is used for characters like a b c d or any other special character you want to add to this big string. And %d is very simple, it's just decimal integer. So it's quite easy. This section is still here. Then the next is additional argument, this triple dot 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 dot. So additional argument, depending on the string format like %d and %s used in second section, the function may accept a sequence of additional arguments. So we can say we can add variable by naming them here in third section. So its value can be replaced by the format tags in the second section and in the main big output of the this function. So that's the function. So let's just move on towards the code editor and see how it's working there. Sorry, wait. Before we move to code, we have forgotten one thing. That's the return value. There's an int in the starting. We usually ignore that int, but just for the total understanding purposes, I'm going to explain it as well. So it says that if successful, the total number of characters written in the return excluding the null character appending in the end of string, otherwise a negative number is returned in case of failure. So this is quite simple. If the total number of it will return just total number of characters written in the buffer if it is successful. But if in any case the return in the buffer is not successful, it will just return -1, which means there is no buffer that stores this data, means the function failed. So I guess this is quite clear as a theory about this function. So now let's just see it in the text editor, the Atom text editor. So as we can see, I have prepared a code to explain you what actually going in the actual coding problem. So how you can use it in your codes too. So first we have taken a big buffer of type character char. So it works as a big string where we store other like all of the string when we generate it from sprintf function. So let's just see how. Then next is name. Here's my name. My name is Karan. So it's another small string which contains my name, and here's an integer. This integer variable name is age, and the value is 19 assigned to it. So I'm 19. So sprintf is a function which have first parameter as info. Info is a big buffer where all this data is gonna store. So that's what I was talking about. Then next is the buffer, the actual buffer, or you can say the text, which is going to be stored in the info. So the first is n%s. Uh, then s n%s will be replaced by the value of the name, which is current, and then in the middle here's n%d, which will be replaced by 19. That's the value of age. And then there is the rest of text which makes a complete sentence. That is n%s is n%d years old, means Karan is 19 years old. And then there's last section where we have declared the variable which refers to those format tags. The first is name and second is age. So so this is the function which I was talking about. So here's how it look. So next, here is a print statement which just only prints the info, which is the generated output buffer. And let's just run it and see what will happen. So as you can see, here's the output. Current is 19-year-old, and there's a two-line gap between the prompt default line and my text. That is /n and /n, new line characters two times. So that's why. I have prepared one more example for you guys, so you can see it clearly how it will work. So another one is this. And one more thing, this sprintf function don't need any library, or you don't have to include anything else. It just works with stdio.h, which is standard input output in C language. So here's another example. We have taken a character array of 100 size, which whose name is statement, and then there's a next character array which name is depth, and it stores the word developer. And the another variable is integer, which is imp, which refers to the number of employees in the department. So sprintf just copy paste this buffer into this statement variable, the variable where it's pointing to the location. don't get confused here. So just the n%s is format specifier for string, which is dept department name, which is developer, and then there is a bunch of text. Then there is n%d, which refers to the imp, which is number of employees, and integer, as we said. And then next line is pretty simple. We just uh, printed the content of statement variable. So let's just run it. Let's see. So here's it. The developer department has 19 employees. So as you can see, this how easy it is to use, and now you can, now with the proper understanding of this function, you can use it in your projects too. So that's it for this video, and in the next video I will cover one more function which is very interesting, and quite comes in same category, as this function name is sprintf. The the next function will be scanf, and we will talk about it in next video. Till then, bye.